This is a night where we are seeing you're sharing a screen with the kinds of stresses that cities are facing across this country because of the way police officers have been using deadly force. What is your reaction to the situation in Brooklyn Center tonight and the Minneapolis area generally, and how they are trying to maintain the peace with a combination of a curfew and a very large police presence there?
Yeah, well, Lawrence, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here with you this evening. First and foremost, my condolences to the family of Daunte Wright. And as a mother of a Black son, I know all too often how fearful mothers can be when their sons leave their house. My son and I have the talk one too many times for me to remember. And to watch this energy in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, reminds me of Ferguson. And I know that many of my friends who were frontline protesters are having some traumatic experiences watching this play over and over and over again. And it's bringing back memories of the times that they spent on the streets of Ferguson.
I believe your son, Aiden, is 13 years old. How old was he when you first had your talk with him?
He was about 6 or 7 because he goes to school in a all-white suburb, and I had to remind him that that these things can happen when if a police officer pulls you over. And he told me at about 10, when he was walking with some friends in their neighborhood, that they were stopped and asked questions by police. And unfortunately, they continued to go. But that was his first memory of feeling afraid when a police officer approached him.
What does it mean, and what do you hope it will mean to policing in St. Louis now that you will be the city's first Black woman mayor?
Well, one of the things I said during my campaign is that we can't reform our way out of this. We have to transform our public safety systems. And one of the things that hit me like a ton of bricks is, again, through another talk I had with my son, is that when he found out that I was running for mayor and what the mayor does and how the mayor is over the police, he said, well, that means that I'll be safe. And how many children does that happen to, where their mother becomes the mayor and then all of a sudden they feel safe? That's a 1 in a million chance. And his mother shouldn't have to become mayor in order for him to feel safe when he encounters law enforcement.
What help do you think mayors need around this country, especially direction from Washington on how to improve policing?
I think that President Biden is headed in the right direction with some of the things that he's trying to do with the executive orders. Our gun laws are really out of control. But let me be clear, I do support responsible gun ownership, but America has seemed to take it to another level. You don't need an AR-15 to hunt deer. And so we have to make sure that our gun laws are responsible, and it takes it away from the people who don't need to own them. We are experiencing, it seems like every week that we see a new mass shooting on our televisions. And unfortunately, we've developed a callous that we shouldn't as a response to watching people lose their lives at the hands of gun violence.
We are just minutes away from the curfew officially going into place in Minneapolis, the whole Minneapolis area, including Brooklyn Center, which was the first to have a curfew. You saw Ferguson, Missouri, living under a curfew for quite a while during those protests and the police response to those protests there. Have we learned anything in the last 5 years about how cities and police departments can handle these protests?
Obviously not, because St. Louis City has experienced its own form of violating people's First Amendment rights during protests. We are just weeks away from a verdict where an off-duty police officer was beaten by his colleagues during a protest in 2017 in St. Louis. So we have to, again, get away from this old and tired arrest and incarcerate model to one that leads with prevention, because that's the only thing that's going to keep us from having these situations over and over and over again.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.